Hi, welcome to Kids Make Comics. I'm Dave McDonald, here in the Barnyard Studios of Corny Creek Farms. Today we're going to be inking our comics with ink pens. So I want you to get out some newspaper or a magazine and put it on the table underneath your drawing paper. We don't want to make any messes on the furniture. Let's get started. Pie. Oh boy, I like pie. I'm sure you do too. We're going to be talking about pie today, but not necessarily this kind of pie. You see, what we want to do is we want to make a comic and we want it to be done in ink pen. So pie helps us remember the three-step process to make an inked comic. And that three-step process is penciling, inking, and erasing. And you can remember it by the first letter of each word, P-I-E, pie. Penciling, we always start off drawing our comic completely in pencil, and then we trace over it with an ink pen. Inking is tracing, and then we erase our original pencil lines. 3 steps. And I'm sure you can imagine why we don't just pick up our ink pen and start drawing our comic in ink. That's right, if you make a mistake, you can't really erase an ink pen. So we always draw in pencil first, and then we trace over and we ink. All right, so I'm going to create a panel here with my character Calvin the Barnyard Cowtoonist, and I'll show you how it works. I'll do all 3 steps: penciling, inking, and erasing. And when we're penciling, and I'm sure you can figure out why, we don't want to press down too hard with our pencils, because we know we're going to have to erase that later. So don't press down too hard as you're penciling. All right, let me get started here. Okay, I think I'm ready to start inking. Very rough, done in pencil. Let's get started inking. Now when I ink, I usually ink my border first, and I like to use a nice thick marker for that. Nice thick line will help that comic panel jump off the page. When I draw my letters, I like to use a thinner marker or technical pen. These fine markers. And then when I ink my characters, I could use any of those other markers, but I really like these brush markers. And a brush marker acts like a paintbrush. So it is a marker, but if you press down softly, it has a very fine line. But if you press down harder, it gets thicker. And that line can add character to your drawings. Okay, so I'm going to get started inking. So we're done inking. And now it looks a little bit messy because we've got pencil lines and ink lines merged together. So what you'll do, blow on it a little bit, let it dry out, and then you're going to take your eraser and you'll go over every area with your eraser to get all those pencil lines done. I like to do it very lightly. I support the paper with my hands so it doesn't crinkle up or get ripped. So let me get started erasing. Okay, we're done erasing. There we go. And once you scrape away the old eraser crumbs, I can see some pesky little pencil lines in there. You might have to go back in with your eraser and just check it all out. That's again why we don't want to press down hard, so that when we go to erase, those pencil lines will disappear nicely. And sometimes you see that your ink pen needs to go back in there and do some touch-up work. I can see where his little eyeball, his pupils need a little bit more black in there. You can see I left a little white spot in the pupils. That just indicates a hint of light or a reflection. But that's the three-step process: penciling, inking, and erasing, right? Pencil it out first lightly, trace over with your ink pens, and then erase. And you'll have a nice clean comic done in black ink on white paper. It looks great. Isn't that epic? Go ahead, give it a try. Ink your next comic using pie. We'll see you next time here on Kids Make Comics, here on Corny Creek Farms.